Hey everyone, Dennis Hall here with learningtemplates.com. I'd like to go through two of the major features that are in LifterLMS BackPack version 1.2.0. Many of the features here that you see turned off are because um, they are not actually installed in 1.2.0. These are for future releases, and I'm still doing some work on them. However, in 1.2.0, one of the major release items is the field manager. What this does is it allows you to create your own LifterLMS registration fields, and in 1.3.0 that will include edit account fields. These fields are also present in the user's profile, as well as in reporting and exporting the data. And all these fields are optionally turned on or off for those items. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the registration field process of creating registration fields. So right off the bat, I just want to let you know I've got a standard LifterLMS registration form here, student information, so their billing information and the student's registration information as well. I've just left Lifter as at the default settings, but if I were to use LifterLMS BackPack, I could turn off a whole bunch of stuff here and use BackPack to replace it all for the most part. So let's go ahead and let's see about that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to enable BackPack. By enabling it, I get a configure button. That's where the form builder is. Let's go ahead and let's select what we want to build our form for, though. In this case, I'm going to enable a form builder for registration. What I'll do as well, I'll also add a registration section title in the registration form. I'll just call this my custom fields, and this can be turned on or off or renamed at any time you wish on the fly. So now I've done that part. Now let's go ahead and let's add some fields into the form itself. So I click on configure to go to field manager, and what I need to do, because there will be in this list registration, edit account, and WooCommerce integration as well. So WooCommerce will be in there as well. And we may add other forms in the future, but for now it's going to be registration, and in version 1.3.0 will be edit account, and in version 1.4.0 will be WooCommerce added to this list. So we'll just select registration, and once the screen reloads, I have a registration field here. So let's go ahead and let's just delete these ones that I've got in here now, and let's go ahead and let's put in a couple of interesting fields, maybe a drop down menu. We'll add a drop down menu here, and we'll call this pick a color. So as part of the registration process, we want people to pick a color. So what I'll do now is I will the meta key, by the way, that gets populated automatically is pick a color. So this means later, if you want to use this form field for anything outside LifterLMS, you can use this as well. The data is accessible throughout the system. So let's go ahead and pick red, add red as one color, and white as another color, and blue as another. Alright, now what's interesting about this as well is that this particular field that I'm creating, it says pick a color, that's all fine, but let's go ahead and let's see what else we can do with this. We can make this for admin use only and such, and this is our form builder, but we built it based on some other a standardized form builder method. But here's what we can do as well. We can click on show in report and export. Let's go ahead and let's save that, and I'm just going to switch back to that LifterLMS registration form, and let's see what we've got so far. So here's that section title I made, my custom fields, and here's the selection, the drop-down menu. Let's see what else has happened in our system. I'm going to go to users, and I'm going to edit my profile, and we'll now see a new section, which will be just above LifterLMS profile, and it's called registration information. And you'll notice that the drop down is there. Now you as an administrator in the system can pick a color and update the user as well. That's all fine. And when you do that, it's that. But if the user registers, whatever they select when they register will be here. So that's one thing that that's added to. So let's go ahead into LifterLMS reporting, and we'll take a more in-depth look to that as well. So here we have students, which actually I am not a student in anything. So let me go ahead and let me add myself to a course. I'm going to enroll in this course. And of course, being that I'm going to enroll, I'm going to use the use the registration form to enroll, and I'll pick a color. So let's go ahead and enroll as my name. All right. Now here it's going to have the same information, so I'll just fill it in. Again, these are default LifterLMS fields, and they can be turned on and off individually. I'm going to pick the color blue because I did pick white earlier, if I recall, and I'll enroll. Now I've enrolled. It says I'm enrolled to the course. Let's take a look at my user profile. Remember, I picked blue from the menu, and you can see that blue is there. Let's now take a look at the reporting. We'll just reload this page, and here we have reporting, and pick a color is in the end. Now let's go ahead and let's add another field. Why stop at one when you can have more? Let's just enter bio information, and let's go ahead and let's add that as well to the report and export. And this will be an open text block is what it's going to be. So we'll just close that, and let's go ahead and let's also add a checkbox. And the checkbox will be, let's just say, I agree with anything. All right, and this one we're not going to add to the report. We'll leave that one out. So now I'm just going to save this, and let's go ahead and let's see what I'll do is I'll reload my profile, and here's the bio. So this is my bio, and I'll agree with anything. And I'll just do that back here, but I could do it in the registration process, of course. And if we just switch back to the other screen, where I'm not a logged in user, an incognito window, we'll see that we have the 3 items here, where the checkbox we agree to and everything. So we'll just close that off, and let's see what we get in LifterLMS reporting. Remember, I did not add the checkbox to the reports. So here I've got the 2 items that I've added to reports. So now the student and reporting are all integrated with LifterLMS, and that's that part of it. Let's take a look at the next major feature in LifterLMS BackPack version 1.2.0. This one is really important. It's called I've called it upsell enrollments, but it's not the best name because it does so many things. So let's just click on the gear to identify what this can do. So what this does essentially is, if a student is in a course and that course will expire soon, or maybe the course is already even expired, and you've upsold that student into a membership, or the student has now rejoined your platform and are in a membership. The problem is that LifterLMS is built around access plans, and access plans automatically terminate when the payment period completes, and that's a perfect thing for LifterLMS to do. It really is. However, there are at least these 4 cases that I identify here where you want to avoid that. You want to keep your student in the same course so that they do not so that the course access is not expired when they then come back later after the course did really expire. They might come back later and purchase a membership that has the same course in it. And if the membership has that course as a prerequisite to some other course, the problem is they will not be able to get to that course without using this tool that I've created here, because the first course will have expired, which means the second course in the membership, having the first one as a prerequisite, will not be accessible. So that's one scenario that this I'm not going to say corrects, because there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm going to say is it's another enhancement feature that allows you to override the rules of the LifterLMS access plans. Secondly, another scenario might be where a student is in a course again, or they may be in a membership, and there might be 2 or 3 memberships with the same course in it. And again, however, once they move from one membership to another, or they move from one course to another, the original access plan will expire them in the course that's in the membership. If that membership date, if the end date of the membership access plan exceeds that of the course access plan end date. A good example would be on December 31st of last year, I was in a course, and December 31st was the last day that course was available to me. However, on December 30th, I enrolled into a membership that had that same course in it. So for the one day, the 30th to the 31st, that course was accessible to me in the membership, and I could continue on my course and move to the next courses. However, the problem lies on the 1st of January. That course that's now in the membership that I've just joined just expired at the end of the day, or at the end of the time of the 31st when I bought that course. So if I bought the course at 5:30 p.m. on December 31st, 2016, and it was a 1-year access plan at 5:30 p.m. on December 31st, 2017, it would terminate. I would then be in a membership that might have a second course that's got the first one as a prerequisite to be completed. At that point, I'm done. I can't do anything unless I've already completed that course. And even then, in the membership, I might want to go back and revisit the course, but I can't because it's expired. This is another scenario that this feature fixes. So when you want to apply this type of fix to a membership, I give you 2 membership plans that you can select from, and I don't have any configured on this system right now. I've rebuilt the system just today and haven't gotten around to creating a membership. But you would select any 2 memberships, and if you need more memberships, we can add this on, and there's no cost to us adding more memberships to be able to be selected. But for now, I've started off with 2. So you would select a membership and click Save Settings. Now let's say that this was a scenario where there was no memberships. It was just the course. So another scenario is that if you do also activate our end user access feature. Let's go ahead and let's find end user access. So here I've got it turned on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to again go to my my profile and show you what has happened here. So in end user access, here's another scenario. That person in the course that just expired has asked you to give them a little more time to finish their course. So you've basically said, okay, we're going to give you another week or so. So now all I have to do is, today is the 31st of May, so let's go into June, and let's terminate this person on the 8th of June instead. I've just bought them another week in the course. Now that can be done on its own without using the end user access can terminate a person early in a course. So if you've got a bad student, you could terminate, and the course was destined to be 6 more months. You could terminate them at any time you want with just the end user access feature. But now, if I want to extend this student beyond the access plan, all I have to do is click another date and save their profile. Doing that, that in conjunction with just turning this feature on, not even configuring memberships, just turning it on alone, has just allowed the end user access to be extended beyond the access plan termination date. So that's another scenario. Now finally, just getting back to Field Manager, there is another scenario as well where if I'm using third-party registration and I want to turn that on in LifterLMS or turn it off, let's just go ahead and let's go back and revisit the user that we had. And let's just turn off the third-party registration. So I'm just going to copy this URL, and I'm going to open an incognito window again. Let's just go back to here as a non-logged in person, and let's enroll to this again without the third-party registration turned on. So here, without third-party registration, this is the LifterLMS registration form. So earlier what you were looking at was the LifterLMS registration form with having third-party registration enabled. So I'll just enable that again and we'll flip back to the form. So third-party registration, what this does is it allows you to register the student's information and then the student details. The student information is actually the purchasing party's information, and the student details are the details of the student that they are registering on that. So this person is registering this person, a third person, into the course, and so the custom fields do apply there as well. So thank you for your time. That's all. I know it's been a long video, but this is a very, very action-packed plugin that you will never realize just what you've not had until you have this. Thanks very much.